welcome back. And as I mentioned in part one, I'm gonna go on to his accessories. Man, it's some good soda. And real quickly, just to anyone who wants to know what's in that thing, it's Diet Pepsi. All right. So that's just so no one asks what's in that blue thing on the screen. I'm a soda-holic. But anyway, back on track. On to his accessories. Seeing as though this thing was released in America, and it's supposed to be some sort of masterpiece, he did come with quite a few of them. He comes with one of his most iconic weapons. Actually, let me just make a quick minor modification to one of them. He comes with his famous rifle, which is his most featured weapon. Is rather nice. It's blue and silver with a little bit of yellow. I'm surprised that Hasbro would make it that color when they could have just painted it black. But I think I would rather buy the one in Japan. But the problem I have with it is that and almost everyone who owns this figure has this problem. Let me see if I can get it in his hand first. It just sits in there loosely. I mean, he can hold it, but it's in there really, really loose. It's like just trying to put it down like that, and just it's about to flop out. So that accessory is kind of a fail. And as Jeepers Media would put it about the applause gun for the American Idol, lame. Sorry I borrowed that. His next accessory, which is one of my favorites, he comes with his battle axe, which has only been seen once in the entire Generation 1 cartoon. This was seen in More Than Meets the Eye Part 2, when Optimus and Megatron battled on top of the dam. They each had an energon weapon. This was Optimus's. Megatron had the flail. And what you can do is, you can take his hand, fold it back in, and then this attaches. But the problem I have with mine is that, thanks to my annoying brother, he has broken a peg. So, it stays on, but it's loose in one place. But it does, rest assured, it does stay on there. And you can rotate it if you want to, but... And that's another thing, it just comes out really easily, because he made me break a peg. I'm not going to mention his name, though. His next accessory, which is probably one of the coolest, and makes another nod to Generation 1, is that he comes with a pistol of Megatron in gun mode, which actually goes back to the Season 1 episode, A Plague of Insecticons, where, in battle, Optimus loses his weapon, and he sees Megatron is badly wounded. But he goes over to him and asks him to transform into gun mode, so that way he can use a special ammo he's been using, and he tries to shoot the Insecticons. And, yeah, and that's kind of a reference. And the little gimmick that this thing has is that the scope and the silencer come off. I said that the other way around, and you can get this. The barrel is not painted silver. I wish it was, but it doesn't really matter, because I usually leave the barrel on there, or the silencer. And there is also a stock, but again, thanks to my brother, he made me break a piece, and it would go right there. And the handle, it does extend, so if you want to have him a better grip on it, and I actually find that it helps. But unlike the rifle, you should probably fold down the fist, the thumb, before you place it in his hand to get a better fit. And if I had put the barrel, the stock on there, it wouldn't really fit well on his hand. But you can have him hold Megatron. This is the weapon I usually have him posed with on my shelf. And let me just set him off to the side, and then I'm going to bring the camera back down. Okay. And then, his last accessory, which I find to be quite the cheesiest of... Was that even a word? Cheesiest? He comes with one more accessory, and it's this. He comes with a stand, which, is actually really nice looking. It's got a nice All About logo in there. Flip it up, it's got the Matrix. It is dusty because, this thing's been sitting on my shelf. It's actually sitting over there on my, countertop, which is next to my lamp, my Voltron, and my clock, and my M&M's dispenser, which I am not going to show. But you might have seen it if you saw my tour video I made. But, this thing runs on 2 AA batteries, which are stored right here, and there's a reason why, because this little bad boy has lights and sounds, with actual quotes from the movie. Now, the only problem is that they did not get, Peter Cullen to do them. They got some other guy from Hasbro. They just got a guy, asked him, hey, can you help us with this recording? And I would have really loved to hear Peter Cullen's voice with these phrases, but what do we get instead? We get a really cheesy, but let me just run through them. You get
Autobots, transform and roll out. I want you to make a special run to Autobot City. Megatron must be stopped. All we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.
That sucks. But what does make up for it is that we get these 2 sounds. We get the transformation to vehicle robot mode, which you might have heard in the movie, and the famous sound that was played before Prime went into battle, that transformation sound. And as I mentioned, this is also a stand for Optimus, so you can get him standing on there as a little display piece. And he looks really good on it too. A really, really nice statue. I usually use this thing more as a statue than a play figure, which was the main reason why this was released. Overall, I really, really, really like this figure. It's amazing. Oh yeah, there's a gimmick I forgot to show. Before I go into my final thoughts, I'm just take the gun out of Prime's hand. He does have some wrist communicators, which, let me just put him down for this. I'm not putting him down to sleep for a stasis nap, so don't worry. But he does have some panels on his arms. On this one, he's got, let me see if I can get this on camera. He's got Grimlock. And on his left arm, let's see if I can get this one on camera. He's got Megatron. So, you can have him going, hey, Megatron, wanna go bowling tonight? Nah, let's go out for pizza. Sure, I'm there. Where do you wanna go? Domino's? Sure. 8 o'clock? Sure, I'm there. You can do some really weird stuff. I don't know why I just did that, unless it's trying to get more subscribers. But yeah, those are everything that this figure does. If you love Optimus Prime like I do, even to the point of having the costume t-shirt, this is a must-own. Sorry about that. I can't see any Transformers fan passing this figure up. There are a few versions out there. There's this one. There's the 2004 release, which has just battle damage added onto it. There's also the Masterpiece one, which has a bit of different paint apps and longer smokestacks. You have the MP4 one, which has the fully working trailer and the MP1 Prime. And there's also the limited edition black Nemesis Prime version, which is basically a black repaint of this, but it still has the crappy Autobot symbol there, which I don't understand why it would. But the only drawback having this one is those crappy sound effects, but in the wrong voice, and here's what I think about that. No. And Optimus agrees with me, don't you? I thought so. I mean, having him, those are great phrases from the movie. I think one thing it's said is, till all are one, and one shall stand, one shall fall. But, I find it kind of disappointing. But overall, this is a great figure. If you own it, if you love Transformers, and if you were a fan of them in the 80s, this is a figure that you must own. I guess that's about it. Later, guys, I'm out of here. Go shopping at Big Bad Toy Store. That's where me and Optimus go, right? You said it.